In 1968, writer, director, and producer George Romero would leave an indelible mark on filmmaking, influencing future generations to come.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Of half-Cuban descent, Romero was born and raised in New York City. He attended Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, adopting the city as his longtime home and the site where most of his work would be filmed. He began his film career as an industrial filmmaker.
The face-slapping record of 30 hours was set by 2 Russians. Read about them all in the Guinness Book of World Records.
One of his first jobs was creating short film segments for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Growing tired of making commercials, George had a vision for making an independent horror film shot entirely in Pittsburgh that would not only capitalize on what he referred to as the public thirst for the bizarre, but also comment on American society in the Vietnam era.
The something that it had was a group of people who really wanted to make the scariest horror film that they could.
It was black and white, it was crude, it was Pittsburgh.
Night of the Living Dead went on to become one of the most celebrated American horror films of all time, an instant classic. Romero never looked back, forging ahead as a writer, director, and producer in the horror genre, making it his own with a signature social commentary, and creating a collection of films that would reach cult status.
Spreading fury of the crazy.
Martin, marking his first collaboration with special effects artist Tom Savini. He returned to the zombie genre in 1978 with Dawn of the Dead, what became one of the most profitable independent films in U.S. history. Night Riders, with Ed Harris.
That kid thinks I'm Evel Knievel.
That kid thinks you're William the Knight. You're his hero.
Creepshow, his first of many collaborations with Stephen King. In 1983, he moved into television, helping to create the series Tales from the Dark Side through his company Laurel Entertainment. And in 1985, with what was meant to be the last installment of his trilogy, Day of the Dead.
Based upon a book by Stephen King.
After The Dark Path in 1993, Romero took a hiatus before returning with the independent film Bruiser in 2000, paving the way for a bigger budget return to the zombie genre.
Night of the Living Dead was a masterpiece, and then I feel like he's reached another level.
In 2005, Romero directed Land of the Dead. It was both a critical and box office success. Romero is currently in production on his 5th installment. With a career spanning 4 decades, Romero has created an impressive body of work, both commercial and independent, entertaining and critically acclaimed. His films have become classics of the genre he helped to create. NALIP's Lifetime Achievement Award winner, George Romero.
I'd love to be with you tonight, but I'm working on a film, just finishing another zombie film in Toronto, and otherwise I would have been there. Well, I want to thank NALIP for this honor. I'm very flattered, and I appreciate being even considered for this award. If I had any sort of a message for young Latino filmmakers, for any filmmakers, it's to go out and do it. When I started, we basically started a little company to do commercials and industrial films, and gradually, you know, made a little money, got some equipment accumulated, and made our first film, Night of the Living Dead, entirely on our own. And these days, it's more difficult to distribute independent films, but it's much easier to make them. And I think that my best advice is to get out there and try to do something, shoot something, you know, do what Robert Rodriguez did, you know, go out and do your own El Mariachi or something. And because you can't talk your way in, you can't, you know, go into an office and say, I know how to make movies. You have to be able to show something on film. I grew up in New York, I was born in 1940, so I'm old enough to remember the days of the Sharks and the Jets, West Side Story, and all that. And I think that has maybe made me more of a political filmmaker, but I work in a genre, in the horror genre principally, and so I target most of my commentary on the media and government and so forth, and I'm always grateful when people notice that maybe there's a little something in there that's more than just zombies and blood. So I really am very flattered, and I appreciate this tremendously. Thank you very much.